Amoka was a woman of warmth and kindness, her laughter brightening up any room she walked into. She was in her late 20s, her ebony skin glowing like the morning sun. Her thick, coily hair was always braided, her style a perfect blend of tradition and modernity. Amoka had been married to Chike for 5 years. Chike was tall, broad-shouldered, and charming, his deep voice carrying the confidence of a man who knew what he wanted in life, or so she thought. Amoka's younger brother, Uche, had recently come to stay with them. He was in his mid-20s, with a slender build, caramel-toned skin, and a warm smile that could disarm anyone. Uche was vibrant and full of life, his energy filling the house with joy. One evening, as Amoka returned from work, she noticed a shift in the air. Chike and Uche seemed unusually close. Their conversations were longer, their laughter more intimate. Amoka didn't think much of it at first. Uche was naturally friendly, and Chike had always been good at making people feel at home. But as weeks went by, she couldn't ignore the subtle changes in their behavior. Chike, who used to spend evenings chatting with her, now seemed preoccupied. He'd often sit with Uche, their conversations whispered and their smiles lingering. One evening, Amoka decided to confront Chike. Sitting on their couch, she looked him in the eyes and asked, "Chike, is everything okay between us? You've been distant lately." Chike hesitated, his gaze dropping to the floor. "Amoka, there's something I need to tell you, but I don't know how." Her heart raced. "What is it?" Chike took a deep breath, his voice trembling. "I didn't plan for this to happen, but I've developed feelings for Uche." Amoka froze, her mind struggling to process his words. "You're in love with my brother?" "Yes," he admitted, tears welling up in his eyes. "I never imagined this could happen, but I can't lie to you. I care deeply for him." Amoka felt a wave of emotions, shock, anger, and betrayal. She stood up, her voice shaking. "How could you? You're my husband. And Uche, he's my brother." Before Chike could respond, Uche walked into the room, his face pale. "I heard everything," he said quietly. "Amoka, I never meant to hurt you. I didn't ask for this." The room was heavy with silence. Amoka looked at the two men she loved most in the world, torn between her own pain and their honesty. Amoka's heart ached as she watched the love of her life confess feelings for her brother. Her world felt like it was crumbling beneath her feet. Despite the pain, she chose silence for a moment, retreating to her room to process everything. That night, she couldn't sleep. Memories of their wedding day flashed in her mind, the vows, the promises, the love. How could it all lead to this? She stared at the ceiling, her mind racing with questions she couldn't answer. By morning, she resolved to confront Uche in private. She found him in the kitchen, nervously sipping tea. "Uche," she began, her voice trembling. "How did this happen?" "I don't know, Amoka," he replied, his eyes avoiding hers. "It wasn't intentional. Chike and we just connected in ways I didn't expect." Amoka's fist clenched, but she forced herself to remain calm. "Did you ever think about me? About what this would do to our family?" Uche looked up, guilt etched on his face. "I'm sorry, Amoka. I never wanted to hurt you." Her anger bubbled to the surface. "You've already hurt me, Uche. And Chike, how could he do this to me?" Uche's silence spoke louder than words. Over the next few days, Amoka began noticing other oddities. Chike and Uche were often out together, their whispers turning into secret outings. Desperate for answers, she decided to follow them one evening. Dressed inconspicuously, she trailed them to an upscale restaurant on the edge of town. Sitting at a distance, she watched as they laughed and shared a bottle of wine. Her heart shattered further, but then, something unexpected happened. A third person joined them. The stranger was a woman, a beautiful, tall figure with dark skin and long, flowing braids. She greeted Chike and Uche warmly, her smile dazzling. Amoka squinted, trying to understand what was happening. Amoka couldn't hold back her curiosity. After the woman left, she approached their table. The shock on Chike and Uche's faces was evident. "What's going on?" she demanded, her voice low but firm. Chike stammered, "Amoka, I can explain." "Please do," she said, crossing her arms. Uche looked at Chike, as if seeking permission. Finally, Chike sighed. "The woman you saw, she's not just anyone. She's my sister." Amoka froze. "Your sister? But you said you were an only child." "It's complicated," Chike admitted. "I found out about her recently. My mother had a child before she met my father, and she gave her up. We reconnected a few months ago." Amoka's head spun. "And what does this have to do with Uche?" Chike hesitated, then dropped another bombshell. "She was the one who made me realize I've been hiding my true self. Uche and I, we're not in love in the way you think. We're trying to figure out our own identities, but I didn't know how to tell you." Amoka's breath caught. The betrayal she felt morphed into confusion and an odd sense of relief. Back at home, Chike and Uche explained everything. The connection they shared was not romantic but rooted in shared struggles. Uche had confided in Chike about his own identity struggles, and they had become each other's support system. However, the real twist came when Amoka learned about Chike's sister, Ngozi. Ngozi had been digging into her family's past and uncovered shocking information. Chike's biological mother was not who he thought she was. Instead, she was a woman from Amoka's own village, making Chike and Amoka distant relatives. The discovery shook everyone to their core. Their marriage, though built on love, was now tainted by an unexpected familial connection. In the weeks that followed, the household slowly adjusted to the revelations. Chike and Amoka decided to annul their marriage, choosing friendship over their complicated relationship. Ngozi became a part of their lives, her presence bringing unexpected healing to the family. Amoka focused on rebuilding herself, finding strength in her independence. Uche, too, began a journey of self-discovery, finally feeling free to embrace his identity. Though the path had been painful, it led them all to a deeper understanding of love, family, and acceptance.